sponsor, Alpine Air.
And we are back at it for a new year and a new edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is Tuesday, the second day of January 2024. I'm going to be in this Monday mode, I think, most of the day today. And I'm not going to lie to you, I am tired. Sugar Bowl didn't kick off until about 6. I watched the whole thing. It went way past. I didn't go to bed till about close to 10 o'clock last night. For somebody who gets up at 3:30 in the morning, I ain't gonna cut it, but we're gonna get through this day. Of course, everybody's back to normal now. Holiday season is over. Schools are back, and you know we're through that little period anyway. Still mild weather, unseasonably mild weather. Forecast details are coming up. Plus, we will have your latest news as we get going for the year 2024. Obviously, as you know by now, the Huskies are going for the Natty. Very exciting Sugar Bowl victory over the Longhorns last night in New Orleans. They'll take on Michigan. Both teams going, playing in the national championship game for the first time in their respective school histories. Next Monday is going to be fun. We'll have that when we get to sports. And we're going to go ahead and throw together all of the year in review special videos that our very own Jefferson Robbins did last week. The last in those series of 2023 in review will air during tonight's news, but we got parts 1, 2, and 3 in the back half of the program. So we have quite a bit to get to on this Tuesday. Let's do it. Let's go around the valley with our cameras. Of course, we start out with the cross camera, looking out over the Senator George Seller Bridge, the Pipeline Bridge, which now also has a name. I got to get used to that. Can't remember what it is off the top of my head. And traffic is considerably heavier than it has been over the last couple of weeks. A lot of people, of course, downtime, half days, no school. Some people just take a little vacation here and there, but you can see it's pretty good traffic on the Senator George Seller Bridge as we now return to our regular lives, already in progress. By the way, it's 34 degrees in the Wenatchee Valley. Cougar Ridge looks something like that. People getting going this morning. Yesterday's high, 37. Monday's low, 35. That was it. 2-degree variation in the temperature between the high and the low. Yesterday, our normal high is 32. It's been a very mild winter so far. But here's some good news for you. Sunrise this morning is still 7:48, and it stays at 7:48 for about 2.5 weeks. Sunset gets a little bit later, 4:21 today, 8 hours and 32 minutes of daylight. We've gained 5 minutes of daylight since the winter solstice back on December 21st. So there is that. We like that. Billy Goat, head on up to Okanagan County. It looks something like that. You could actually see Pateras and Brewster about 3 minutes ago when we went through the cameras. Apparently, the clouds and the fog have rolled in front of the lens on the camera on the tower above Alta Lake. So it's down there. You just can't see. I guess you may get maybe a little bit of Pateras. That's about it. Maybe we'll get better luck with McNeil Canyon. There we go. The McNeil Canyon camera looking over the ridge into beautiful Lake Chelan. They got their big Winterfest, I think, coming up in about a week and a half or so, something like that. That's always a lot of fun in both Chelan and Manson. So it's not just summertime when people go to Chelan. It's starting to become a year-round destination, much like Leavenworth. The one prevalent all this week is going to be the early morning fog. In some places, it's going to be very, very thick. There are places that are susceptible to foggy conditions, and we are among them. So quite a bit of fog off and on all week long, especially in the early morning hours. Each night, each early morning between 2, 3 a.m. all the way till about 8 or 9 a.m. The fog could be pretty darn thick in some locations, especially out in the Columbia Basin. So just a heads up, foggy conditions all week long, as a matter of fact, until we get towards the back half of the week. We're going to see some sun breaks on Thursday and Friday, and that will help. And there are changes coming. If you're getting a little tired of this weather, well, there's going to be some significant mountain snow towards the weekend. In fact, quite a bit of snow expected in the mountain passes. Now today, Stevens is going to get maybe a couple of inches of snow. That's about it. Do we have some chance for some snow here in the valley? Yeah, I think Thursday night we do. A little bit anyway, possibly Wednesday night, but there is going to be some lowland snow in some locations Here in the Wenatchee Valley, whatever snow we get probably isn't going to stick around because we're still going to see afternoon highs well above normal from the National Weather Service. Here we go. A chance of sprinkles, maybe a snow flurry or two this morning, but it's a little mild for that. It's 34 degrees. That chance of rain later on. The snow level right now is at 1,800 feet, and it's not going to go anywhere, but there's really not a lot of precipitation. It's a weak shortwave system that's coming through. We'll top off about 37. Look at the overnight low tonight, 36. The clouds and the fog will keep those temperatures right about where, not going anywhere, really. Once again, fog will be forming as well, and we have about a 50% chance of rain. Snow level is going to go up to 2,100 feet overnight tonight. Wednesday, snow level starts out at 2,100 feet, goes to 2,900 feet in the afternoon. So we're talking about rain if we get anything at all on Wednesday, and we'll top off at about 40. Wednesday night, patchy fog forms again, lots of clouds, 34 for the overnight low. We do it all over again on Thursday, but we're going to see a few more sun breaks. On Thursday, we'll get up to about 40. Snow level on Thursday night goes down to 2,000 feet, so could see some light snow Thursday night into early Friday morning until about sunrise on Friday. Again, not a big chance. On Friday, the snow level will be at 2,400 feet. Friday night, it goes down to 1,900 feet, but there will be very little precipitation in the forecast, it looks like. Saturday, probably rain. If we get anything at all, it's about a 50-50 chance of something on Saturday. Again, kind of mild, about 36 for the afternoon high. We close out the week Sunday under sunny skies and a high of 36. So we could see a little bit of light snow here and there, but I think it's probably going to be more like rain. It's just too darn warm for that. All right, that's your forecast. It's 7 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break, and then we'll do your news. You're watching a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Check out ClubProCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
The Apple Blossom Top 10 process begins on Monday and Tuesday, January 8th and 9th, and you can watch it on the NCW Life Channel. Coverage is brought to you by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Gold supporter, Town Auto Group, and by Apple Valley Honda, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista of East Wenatchee, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center. Watch the Top 10 process for this year's Apple Blossom Festival live from the NCW Life Channel.
Got some clouds hanging around, some patchy fog as well. We're at 34 degrees. We'll be near 40 today. Lots of clouds and fog, still temperatures above normal, periods of rain, maybe mixed with some light snow throughout the course of the week, but temperatures, again, well above normal. It is 9 minutes after the hour. Prosecutors filed formal charges on Friday against the East Wenatchee man who was wounded by police gunfire. Back on December 17th, you know this story by now, after he allegedly fired a handgun and rammed his truck into the Veterans Affairs Clinic out in Old Station. 54-year-old Troy McMaster still in the hospital for the gunshot wounds he received in the December 17th incident. And 4 officers, local police officers, they're on administrative leave while the shooting is investigated. The charges against McMaster, second-degree assault for allegedly pointing a firearm at a family member, plus first-degree malicious mischief and discharging a firearm for allegedly damaging the Bud Link VA clinic on Chester Kim Road. Of course, McMaster allegedly rammed the empty building with his truck and fired gunshots through the windows before he was stopped by police. Court records say he has suffered extensive wounds to his legs and faces further surgery at Harborview Medical Center in Seattle before he will be formally charged. A lawsuit brought by an East Wenatchee attorney that accuses the Washington State Patrol of violating the Public Records Act can go forward to trial. That's the ruling last Thursday from Chelan County Judge Travis Brandt, who turned down the State Patrol's request to dismiss the lawsuit. Last year, attorney John Brangwyn asked the agency for a roster of all state troopers working patrol in Chelan, Douglas, Okanagan, and Grant counties, as well as their photographs. He says the state mismanaged and delayed its response for 75 days, Brandt ruling Thursday that it's up to a jury to decide whether the State Patrol violated the Public Records Act. No trial date, by the way, has been set. The Washington State Department of Ecology published its preliminary report on Thursday on improving air quality in overburdened communities initiative. That's what it's called. In March, Ecology identified Wenatchee and East Wenatchee in a list of 16 communities highly impacted by air pollution. The report says the Department of Ecology identified the Wenatchee area because of the short-term exposure to fine particulate matter during wildfire season. We've gotten used to that by now. Data collected from 2020 to 2022 show that all fine particulate matter concentrations that were unhealthy for sensitive groups occurred during August through October. Ecology says there will be further community outreach in 2024 to meet with Central Washington leaders and community members to hear about their air quality concerns. I'm not looking forward to that. Pair Up Cider's new tasting room called The Orchard had its ribbon cutting ceremony last week. It's a family-run cider company. It's based out of Wenatchee. They hosted East Wenatchee Mayor Jerry Lee Crawford and other community members to celebrate their grand opening with a traditional ribbon-cutting ceremony. The new tasting room on Valley Mall Parkway, they have a wide selection of ciders, seltzers, meads, and non-alcoholic beverages, as well as appetizers, salads, and pizza. As you know by now, former Wenatchee City Council member Mike Poyer sworn in as mayor at a special city council meeting on Thursday, and that gave the outgoing mayor, Frank Kuntz, after 12 years in office. He was present, of course, and he had this to say at the ceremony to wish Poyer luck and his own final farewell.
Thank you, and I'll take this opportunity. I got a couple of gifts today from my friends upstairs, so apparently they're someplace sunny with a purple and gold leg. So this is more appropriate for where I'm at in life. Anyhow, I just want to say just a couple quick words. First of all, Mike, you'll do a great job. Wish you the best of luck. If you need anything, you know how to find me. Charlie, where's Charlie? So I got good news and bad news for you. And so the good news is we have an incredible staff. They do incredible work. Lean on them and the other council members. The bad news is you have two new constituents in your district with 36 years of government, and you're now my council member, and you're Mark Kulas's council member. We've got no problem letting you know how we think you're doing. So, with that, I did send an email out to city staff this morning, thanking them for all of their work. You really can't sum up 12 years of what we've done in just a few minutes. I just want to thank everybody. It's been quite a ride. Looking forward to what you guys do in the future, and I turned in my fob this morning, so now I don't have a key to the city anymore. I'm off the email. It all just went cold turkey about an hour and a half ago, so it's a little bit of a surreal feeling, but I feel like I just try to leave it better than we found it, and I think we've done that, and I think Councilmember, now Mayor Poyer, and the new council will do the same thing. So thank you all. Mike, get over here. Let's do this together. See if you know how to adjourn a meeting. I'll let you do it. You adjourn it. You're supposed to say you're adjourned. Adjourn. There we go.
Finally, on this Tuesday morning, back in 2022, you might remember City of East Wenatchee attempted to annex about 500 acres into the city, about 600 homes. All told, after a 6-1 approval vote by the council, the decision moved to the Douglas County Commissioners, who voted against the interlocal agreement. In an interview with our own Jefferson Robbins, East Wenatchee Mayor Geraldine Crawford spoke about why she thinks the annexation effort failed.
We had a joint meeting, the Douglas County Commissioners and the East Wenatchee City Council. We had a joint meeting, and we sent out invitations to over 700 residents in the area for the areas that we were looking to annex. And we had, I believe, it was either 5 or 8 people come and speak out against it. And we didn't have any people who came in support of the annexation. Actually, I think we did, they just didn't speak. And so based off of 8 people out of 700, I think they thought, well, that's not what the community wants, and so we shouldn't make the decision to do that for them if that's not what they want. I'd argue if we had 700 people that were invited to a meeting and 8 came, I don't know if that's necessarily reflective of the whole feel for the community. So, but because there's no huge advantage of coming into the city, people also weren't motivated to come.
Annexations can happen 3 ways: through an agreement between the county and the city. That was the effort that failed. Or a property owner can petition the city to join the city, or by a public vote. Mayor Crawford says probably not this year, but next year, annexation may in fact be on the ballot.
What makes that challenging is there's a lot of cost to a city to get something on the ballot. There's a fee for that, and then there's a lot of funds that are needed to educate and let the community know what it means, what this measure is on the ballot, and then if it doesn't pass, all that's for naught. So yeah, they're very complicated. We are still pursuing some. Hopefully, we're hoping for some petition ones to come in. People will ask to be a part of the city, and then we will eventually probably go to the south end and do it by a ballot measure.
And that is the news on this second day of January 2024. Of course, the news will come your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10. For the evening news, we think it's important that you be informed about what's going on in north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley. And if you can't watch the news at the television time, you can watch it whenever you want to. It'll be up and running at right around 5 o'clock in the afternoon each Monday through Friday on our homepage, ncwlife.com, and our Facebook page, and our YouTube page, and on our app as well. Download our app. And if you have a news tip, get a hold of us. Give us a call, or better yet, send us an email. Everybody gets that. News at ncwlife.com. Sports, the Obscura Holiday. Today in history, some celebrity birthdays, and the year 2023 in review for local news. It's all coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere, so when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now, or visit localtel.net to learn more.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Localtel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
20 minutes after the hour, the number 2 Washington Huskies held on, and I mean barely held on, but they win. They beat number 3 Texas 37-31 in the Sugar Bowl. They will play number 1 Michigan at the College Football Playoff National Championship. That'll be Monday in Houston. Michael Penix Jr., 29 of 38, 430 yards, a couple of touchdowns. The Longhorns driving to the Huskies' 13-yard line. Whew. Then on the very last play of the game, a throw into the end zone was knocked incomplete. The Huskies move on for the national championship game. I'm still recovering. Earlier yesterday, Michigan beat Alabama 27-20 in the Rose Bowl to reach their first college football playoff national championship game. The top-ranked Wolverines remained unbeaten with their overtime victory over the number 4 Crimson Tide in Pasadena, so they advanced to the title game after losing in the semifinals each of the past 2 seasons. I'm looking forward to next Monday. Joey Decord made 35 saves in his second career shutout. Eli Tolvanen had a goal and an assist, and the Seattle Kraken beat the Vegas Golden Knights 3-0 Monday in the Winter Classic, 47,313 at T-Mobile Park. Watch the Kraken dominate the reigning Stanley Cup champions in a matchup of the league's last 2 expansion franchises. By the way, the Kraken are now 7-0-2 in their last 9 games, so they continue to climb into playoff contention after struggling earlier in the year. And speaking of struggles, Seahawks' chances of making the playoffs took a big hit on Sunday, 30-23, losing to the Steelers in the regular season finale at Lumen Field. The Seahawks now have to win at Arizona next Sunday afternoon, and they have to hope that the Packers, who beat the Vikings over the weekend, lose next week at home to the Bears. I don't know about that. Seattle's loss, by the way, clinched a wild card berth for the Rams, which means there's only 1 spot left in the NFC. Afterwards, a distraught Pete Carroll talked about a rather crushing loss.
Really disappointing missing this opportunity right here. At home, everybody was ready, and this was a great one, and we missed it. We went right on defense in the running game again, and so it's been repetitive. We can see it. We played better in the second half. We get 40-something yards in the second half, but the first half they had their way with it, and some stuff we got to get right for our last opportunity next week. But on the other side of the ball, we moved the ball, but we didn't get the ball enough. We couldn't get the ball back to the offense. Minimal amount of drives. It was just the clock was just roaring in their favor. I'm surprised we didn't play better. We did the things we needed. We needed in the game plan, and we called everything that we had, and we didn't stop them consistently. Both the running backs did a really nice job against us, and it was just more than we could handle on this day. We had a couple guys get banged up. You saw Kenny couldn't play; got his shoulder banged again. That was tough. And Abe banged his knee again too, and Evan got hit in the head and needed a break. So got a couple, some guys will have to figure out what's going on with them next week.
With the run defense, Pete, is it as simple as just tackling, or is there more to it than that?
The tackling just seemed like it was really off. It seemed like we just did not make the tackles that we had to, did knock the piles back like we'd like to. And I really wanted to see the film, see where it was happening to guys other than scheme, and make sure that I understand that, which we will. But the tackling wasn't good enough, and we weren't efficient enough. We had shots, and we had shots in the line of scrimmage, and we had opportunities, and they won the battles better than we did.
So Seahawks and Cardinals in Glendale on Sunday afternoon, and again, the scenario is pretty straightforward. Seahawks have to beat Arizona, and the Bears have to beat Green Bay in Lambeau for the Seahawks to make the playoffs. I don't know. Of course, it happened last year, so you never know. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 25 minutes after the hour. For the Obscura holiday, today is running up the flagpole and see if anybody salutes a day. It's National Science Fiction Day. It's National Personal Trainer Day. National Cream Puff Day. It's Swiss Cheese Day. It's Motivation and Inspiration Day. It's World Introvert Day. You can't be an introvert and do this job. But today, we celebrate the buffet, which is rapidly falling out of favor with a lot of Americans. Even before COVID, most of the buffet restaurants were hurting pretty bad. Of course, we used to have here in town, way back when, if you remember, out there in Valley North, we had Roy's Chuck Wagon. You remember that place? And of course, out in Old Station, we had the Royal Fork. They're gone now. A lot of the restaurants that used to have buffets, there's still a few restaurants that still do the pizza buffet. I think Godfather still does that, maybe a couple of others. But the good old-fashioned buffet restaurant, they're like gone. I mean, the Old Country Buffet no longer exists. And again, buffet restaurants were struggling even before COVID, and then during COVID, a lot of them just shut down and never reopened. The Golden Corral, they're all but gone now. Hometown Buffet, the Ponderosa Buffet, they're gone. Buffets are falling out of favor, except, of course, in Las Vegas, where the best buffets to be found anywhere can be found in Las Vegas. Happy National Buffet Day. Belly up to the food table. All you can eat. I will pass. It's 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, we'll throw up the state flag. We do this whenever a state joins the union, give you a chance to take a look at the flag, see if you know which one that is. I'll give you a hint. It is the 4th state in the union, so it's one of the older ones. That is the state flag of Georgia. January 2nd, 1788, 236 years ago today, Georgia becomes the 4th state to ratify the Constitution. Therein, it's the Peach State. The state song for Georgia, not surprisingly, Georgia on my mind, and no surprise there. Of course, Georgia is the largest state east of the Mississippi. In 1945, Georgia became the first state to lower the voting age from 21 to 18. They did that in 1945, but it caused all kinds of problems because the federal voting age to vote for federal elections, for your state for your representatives to Congress and your senator and your president was still 21, so they had to print up 2 ballots. Now, of course, it's 21 everywhere, or 18 everywhere. The world's largest drive-in restaurant is the Varsity. It's in Atlanta. It's a drive-in restaurant. It can accommodate 600 cars at a drive-in restaurant. That's impressive. In the state of Georgia, funeral directors can lose their state license to practice their craft if they use obscenities in the presence of a corpse. Like, how are you going to charge them with that? I don't know how that works. Live shrimp can be found at the very top of Stone Mountain. Stone Mountain is 1,683 feet above sea level, but shrimp live on it because it collects the rainwater in these little depressions in the stone, and that allows the habitat for shrimp to not only grow but thrive. Shrimp living in a mountain in Georgia. Happy birthday, Georgia. 236 years old today. Here comes a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. You remember this, folks? Yep, OPEC, of course, the oil-producing countries in the Middle East, turned off this spigot. No more oil for you. Gas prices went sky high, and the idea was if we do a speed limit of 55 miles an hour, we'll save gas, which, of course, is what it does. It wasn't heavily enforced by state patrols, and every state had to agree to it, or you wouldn't get federal highway funds. So here comes the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. We had that until 1987. Congress partially repealed it. They bumped it from 55 to 65, and that was in 1987. And then in 1995, they repealed the law altogether, and states can decide on their own what their speed limit is. But yeah, I grew up with the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. Are we there yet? January 2nd, 1978, 46 years ago today, New Year's Day fell on a Sunday, and that belongs to the NFL, so whenever New Year's Day falls on a Sunday, the old bowls, the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Orange Bowl, that will be played the next day on Monday. And on Monday, January 2nd, 1978, the Washington Huskies, 14-point underdogs to the Michigan Wolverines, knock off the Wolverines 27-20 to start the modern Husky, I don't want to say dynasty because that's not really true, but Husky football really came alive again after this role. It was a huge upset. Michigan was a 14-point favorite. They had national championship aspirations. Warren Moon, Spider Gaines, they went down there to Pasadena They beat Michigan. I remember watching that on TV like it was yesterday. And 35 years ago today, huge upset for the national championship. Number 2 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions defeat number 1 and undefeated Miami 14-10 in the Fiesta Bowl. At the end of the season, they were the last 2 undefeated teams. All the other bowl games had conference tie-ins, but Penn State and Miami were independents. They didn't belong to any conference, so they could take any bowl invitation. And obviously, there were just 2 bowls left, the Citrus Bowl in Orlando and the Fiesta Bowl in Phoenix. And so they had a bidding war because the teams got to take all the money. They don't have to split it up with their conference partners. They didn't have any conferences. And so a bidding war began on who was going to host number 1 and who was going to do the national championship. It was the Fiesta Bowl who won because they got into bed with, I can't remember, was it Tostitos, I think? They got a big corporate check. And so both Penn State and Miami played for the national championship the day after all the other games. They moved it to prime time. Huge upset. Penn State knocks off Miami on this date in 1987. Another football game I remember watching very well. It's 31 minutes after the hour. Would Barry Goldwater recognize today's Republican Party? I don't know. Most experts agree that even though he got creamed by Lyndon Johnson in 1964 presidential election, he was the Republican nominee. It was Barry Goldwater who brought the conservative political movement kind of a resurgence. I don't know. He said towards the end of his life, he said, the problem right now with the Republican Party is that they're trying to make a religious organization out of it. He said religion and politics should not have anything to do with one another. He was all for gays in the military. He thought we should have done that a long time ago. He supported abortion rights. He supported legalized marijuana, and he was considered one of the most conservative Republicans of all time. I don't know what Barry Goldwater would think of today's Republican Party. He was born in the state in 1909. And a couple of baseball legends turned 61 years old today. David Cone, 61. I watch the Yankees. I get to see him and watch him call the games. 5 times a world champion, 5 times an All-Star, the 1994 Cy Young Award winner. And of course, on July 18th, 1999, he pitched a perfect game against the Montreal Expos at Yankee Stadium. David Cone is 61, and so is Edgar Martinez, 61 years old, outside of Ken Griffey Jr., possibly Ichiro, the most famous Mariner of them all. He's in the Hall of Fame, took him a long time, 7 times an All-Star, 2 times a batting champion, and of course, the Designated Hitter Award is named after Edgar Martinez, who was also 61 years old today. Going to take a break. We got Mike McNally coming up. And we're also going to redo the year in review, the little series of snippets. As we walk down memory lane, we'll have that for you in the back half of the program. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor. That's as good as it gets. It's Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. Thanks for being a platinum sponsor of the fine programming here on the NCW Life Channel. Mike McNally's opinion is next. You're watching a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family.
In today's environment, risk management assessment is a crucial process for your business. Risk assessment will identify, evaluate, and mitigate hazards. Don't let risk impact your business income, reputation, operations, and your overall success. We can give you peace of mind by transferring your business risks to the insurance providers. Call Stacy at August Edge Insurance today to schedule a risk management assessment for your business.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
and you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, for my fellow Christians, I have great news. Wonderful, good news. God loves gay people, and they're all going to heaven when they die. Now, stop. What I want to do is pay attention to my mental and emotional response to that declaration. If the idea of gay people being loved by God and going to the same heaven I think I'm going to makes me react with anger or argument or some other negative emotion, then maybe it's time to take a look at what I call my Christianity. Why wouldn't I be happy to admit some of my judgmental and prejudicial attitudes are wrong and admit that God's grace actually does extend to everyone without condition? Wouldn't that be good news? This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
Bob File Boats and Motors is your local Yamaha headquarters. For more than 30 years, Yamaha outboards have delivered far more than superior power, performance, and efficiency. Yamaha owners get something that can't be measured in horsepower or RPM: legendary Yamaha reliability. Find the Yamaha outboard that fits your life at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
2023 came in like a lion, with a Washington legislative session that would go on to craft new laws regarding carbon emissions, firearms possession, and new protections for transgender youth. Following on its success using drones to survey salmon spawning habitats, the State Department of Fish and Wildlife began doing the same kind of aerial survey to look for pygmy rabbits, the rare endangered animals that flourish only in the Columbia Basin. Chelan County's jail system became the target of a lawsuit by the family of a woman who died in custody. Blair Austin Nelson died at age 42 after a medical emergency at the jail in late 2021. Her family says the jail should have had measures in place to protect inmates like her from those circumstances. That federal lawsuit is still awaiting trial. Rosa Pulido became the new director of Wenatchee Downtown Association after the retirement of Linda Hagland, and James Pumphrey was named to head the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, the main animal welfare agency for Chelan and Douglas counties. The city of Wenatchee tried to combat homelessness with a second Safe Park, a secure lot to provide stable location and appropriate services for people who live out of their vehicles. The city also approved the $6.3 million Mega Kittrick project, a complete revision of the intersection with McKittrick and North Wenatchee Avenue. Once complete, it will tie into the future Confluence Parkway and provide a new underpass beneath the city's BNSF rail line. The last Q400 aircraft flew out of Pangbourne Memorial Airport. The change came as Alaska Airlines took the plane off its longtime routes, replacing it with the Embraer 175 twinjet. A heinous murder shocked Douglas County when Dalton Scott Potter shot and killed his former girlfriend Alyssa Longwell. The killing took place on snowy Badger Mountain Road outside Waterville in front of witnesses whom Potter then also fired upon. Potter was convicted later this year of murder and related felonies. He's now serving 53 years in prison. In February, a Wenatchee man stopped short of pleading guilty to a high-profile murder. Paulina Mosqueda of Waterville vanished in late 2019, and her body was discovered 5 months later in the Sage Hills area. Julius James Ceballos was arrested and charged in her killing, but prosecutors said with little physical evidence and unreliable witness testimony, they could not prove a charge of murder. Ceballos pleaded guilty to manslaughter instead and is now serving 8.5 years. East Wenatchee City Council member Matthew Hepner campaigned for insulin price controls to help people like his own daughter who lives with type 1 diabetes. One bill that passed puts a permanent cap on the out-of-pocket cost for insulin at $35 for a month's supply. A former Chelan County Sheriff's deputy sued the office, saying he was hounded out of the department after leaving the congregation of Grace City Church, where many deputies and their supervisors were members. That federal lawsuit has yet to go to trial. Governor Jay Inslee made visits to the town of Leavenworth to discuss the city's drive for affordable housing, and to Wenatchee, where he toured the Center for Alcohol and Drug Treatment, which would go on to receive more than $19 million in state money to build a new facility. And 3 climbers on the challenging Kolchuk Peak were lost after an avalanche swept them off the face of the cliff. All 3 were from the East Coast. It took months of searching and a change in the weather before all 3 of their bodies could be located. In March, Chelan County prosecutors charged the operators of 2 Wenatchee massage parlors with organized crime, money laundering, and promoting prostitution. Investigators say the 2 locations, operated by husband and wife Lin Hui Yan and Yan Yang, offered illicit sexual services for money. When police raided the businesses, the pair were gone. Almost a year later, they are still being sought by authorities. Corey Kalahar, a Wenatchee native and school administrator, became superintendent of the Wenatchee School District. Kalahar was welcomed after a wide-ranging search and interview process to become the first permanent superintendent of the district since 2022. A Waterville Town Council member pleaded guilty to driving recklessly and lying to police. Cody Pregshot received a suspended jail sentence after he was accused of fleeing from a police traffic stop to avoid a DUI investigation. He was ordered to pay more than $1,400 in fines and fees and serve 2 years on probation. Pregshot remains a council member. Lead was discovered in the water from some Kashmir School District drinking fountains. The discoveries at Kashmir High School and Middle School and Vale Elementary forced the district to shut down the taps until the problem could be addressed. Several were taken out of service and others were fitted with new filters. More lead testing that summer showed traces well below the safe standard. Gregory Loan, a former financial advisor who bilked Wenatchee Valley seniors out of their life savings, was sentenced to 8 years in prison in Douglas County. Loan swindled almost $500,000 from locals, promising huge returns. Loan's own family members said he'd defrauded them of millions of dollars in the past. His own father asked for a prison term of up to 10 years. On Chumpstick Highway outside Leavenworth, police tactical teams got into a standoff with a man sought for armed assault. Abel D. Wilkes was later tried and convicted of second-degree assault, but is appealing that verdict. One officer fired a rifle shot during the incident. Jefferson Robbins, NCW Life.
Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
At Coldwell Banker, their people, their company are cut from a different cloth. They see, hear, sense, and feel things that other people don't. They have a unique appreciation for the thing called home. Because of this dedication, Coldwell Banker has thrived for over a century. This is why they are ranked #1 on Agent Trust. Coldwell Banker. They do real estate with higher standards and have been guiding people home since 1906.
In April 2023, East Wenatchee's police department began settling into a new headquarters, moving out of City Hall and into a renovated space on Simon Street. Chief Rick Johnson said the $5 million purchase and renovation should help the department achieve the accredited status that it needs from the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. Laura Jakes, a mainstay on the Wenatchee School Board for more than 20 years, announced she wouldn't seek a new term. In Olympia, a bill from State Senator Brad Hawkins passed the legislature, allowing the creation of a new regional sports complex for the Wenatchee Valley. The Chelan-Douglas Port Authority hopes to use that leverage to finance and build a sports and aquatic center in coming years. Meanwhile, 12th District State Representative Mike Steele and Jacqueline Maycumber of the 7th District took on leadership roles in the House GOP as deputy leader and floor leader, respectively. A fatal shooting just outside East Wenatchee led to a manhunt and finally an arrest at a Wenatchee Avenue motel. Elias Mora Ontiveros was killed in the gunfire. Eric Farias Reyes was charged and still faces trial for second-degree murder. Link Transit began a push to increase its crew of drivers, working to fill a shortfall of 20 operators. A fella named Axel became the luckiest dog in the Chumstick Valley. The huge Rottweiler-Shepherd mix got stranded in Chumstick Creek amid freezing waters, forcing Leavenworth firefighters to improvise solutions that eventually got Axel to safety. The Wenatchee Valley YWCA and Wenatchee Valley College joined for a Stand Against Racism march, calling for justice in areas including housing, mental health, and disability. In May, a corrections deputy was attacked by 2 inmates at the Chelan County Regional Justice Center, both of whom were awaiting trial on separate murder charges. The jail officer, Jesus Oliveira, recovered from his injuries and returned to work, but later died in a motorcycle accident. Apple Blossom 2023 kicked off with Grand Marshal Colonel Sarah Babbitt of the U.S. Space Force leading the parade. An electric truck joined the fleet of vehicles at the East Wenatchee Police Department. The Ford Interceptor model was predicted to cost less than $100 a month to keep fueled up. A new Veterans Hall opened for the Wenatchee Valley. The location on Wenatchee Avenue offers outreach, advocacy programs, and just plain socialization for local veterans and their families. Former Wenatchee Police Captain Doug Jones became the new chief of Rivercom, the communications and dispatch center for emergency services throughout the valley. And an ad hoc group of nature specialists won recognition from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for their efforts to preserve the endangered wildflower known as the Wenatchee Mountains checker mallow. It grows only in Chelan County. Jefferson Robbins, NCW Life.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
This is Grace, and this is her world record-holding guinea pig with an iconic name, Abby.
She currently holds the Guinness World Record for the highest bar jump by a guinea pig. I ride horses and I jump, so I kind of thought it'd be interesting to teach my guinea pig to jump like my horse does.
One day she came out of her room and looked at us, and I said, "Did you get it?" And she said, "Yeah, we got it."
after we won our award, we came to Abby's to celebrate.
In June of 2023, Link Transit's longtime chief of staff became its chief executive officer. Nick Covey stepped up to the chair after CEO Richard Durack retired from a 20-year career managing the public transit agency. The Leavenworth Adventure Park, with its Alpine Coaster centerpiece, opened for business in the Bavarian Village, offering mountainside thrill rides and other activities. Fire season began in earnest with the 141 fire just off Pine Canyon in Douglas County, and the Methow Fire, which burned acreage near the southern edge of Wenatchee. Wenatchee Pride returned to Memorial Park for a weekend festival. For its efforts at LGBTQ inclusivity and positivity, the Pride organization would later be honored with the City of Wenatchee's Uplift Award for Social Justice. The Washington Supreme Court said a long-awaited Douglas County murder trial could go forward. The justices ruled that evidence seized by police at the home of Ului Teolilo could be used at his trial in the 2018 killing of his wife Peggy. U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell introduced her fellow Senator Debbie Stabenow of Michigan to the wonders of Central Washington fruit. The two senators toured Wenatchee orchards and produce facilities and met with nearly 30 state agriculture leaders as they worked to reauthorize the National Farm Bill in Congress. Gunfire in the campground of the Gorge Amphitheater killed 2 women and injured 3 other people. James M. Kelly, an Army service member, allegedly told police he had taken psilocybin mushrooms before he opened fire. Firearms dealers in Washington, represented by 2 gun shops in Grant County, failed to overturn the state's new restrictions on possession of assault weapons. Their lawsuit was thrown out by a Thurston County judge. Downtown parking in Wenatchee saw a change, moving from 3 hours down to 2. An even bigger change took place at Confluence Health, which rebranded its facilities. Central Washington Hospital became Confluence Health Hospital Central Campus. Other clinics and campuses in the health system followed suit. In July, Wenatchee's biggest roundabout opened for traffic at Highway 2 and Highway 97 in Old Station. In Douglas County, debris and washouts closed long stretches of Highway 2 through the Moses Coulee area. The shutdown stayed in effect through mid-August, and 100 nurses at the Confluence Health Mayor's Campus, formerly the Wenatchee Valley Clinic, voted to unionize with the Washington State Nurses Association. In August 2023, Senator Patty Murray paid a visit to Leavenworth and Wenatchee. Like her counterpart, Maria Cantwell, Murray was in town to talk about Farm Bill reauthorization, as well as wildfire preparedness in the Upper Valley. Wenatchee's longtime fire station was sold for just over $500,000 to Cashmere brothers David and Ian Nichols for a planned future upscale restaurant. An East Wenatchee 15-year-old was lost in a gang-related shooting in Wenatchee. Tony Figueroa was an Eastmont student and soccer player, shot to death while attending a quinceañera in the 600 block of South Mission Street. A 17-year-old from Yakima County was arrested and charged with his murder. Grace City Church agreed to settle a long-running noise citation case with the city of Wenatchee. The city set aside a $500 nuisance citation for overly loud festivities at the Sunny Slope Church, which in turn agreed to control its noise volume so as not to disturb neighbors in the future. Chelan County Commissioners voiced opposition to a mobile needle exchange initiative proposed by the Wenatchee Valley YWCA. The agency and its partners defended the idea, noting that safe syringe exchanges for intravenous drug users are common, and Chelan and Douglas counties are among the few without such a program. Columbia Valley Community Health opened a new $27 million medical, dental, and behavioral health center in East Wenatchee, reaching out to underserved patients in the Douglas County area. Douglas County set new conditions for semi-truck operators using McNeil Canyon Road. The steep road was the site of repeated truck rollovers in 2023 and in years prior. The county closed the route to truck traffic over 10,000 pounds unless drivers apply for a special county permit. A Chelan woman who distributed intimate images of her minor daughter's school rival was sentenced to 6 months in jail. Amanda Sue Austin distributed pictures of the girl throughout Eastmont Junior High in 2022. On a day when no class was in session, she pleaded guilty to felony harassment and related charges. And the Chelan County PUD began its move out of its longtime headquarters on 5th Street and into its shiny new $160 million service center in Old Station. Jefferson Robbins, NCW Life.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
The family at the Eplodolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Eplodolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Eplodolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Eplodolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Check out ClubCrowCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Well, looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
No.
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you at med-project.org.
Well, the sun's been up for about 10 minutes, if you can tell. It is 36 degrees here in the big city. A little shop talk. If you watched the show at the beginning of the show, you saw the shot that's behind me right now. And I was trying to remember the name of the pipeline bridge because they just had a naming ceremony back in autumn, and I drew a blank. Well, Terry and Joe sent me an email, and I appreciate that, Terry and Joe. It's the W.T. Clark Pipeline Bridge, and I'm going to get that down. It's a new thing. It takes a little while to get used to it. So it's the W.T. Clark Pipeline Bridge. Thank you very much, Terry and Joe, for reminding me of that. On a more personal level, I had a pretty difficult weekend. Two coworkers, one very close to me, are now in broadcasting heaven. Jim Wallace passed away Christmas Eve at 86. He and his brother John owned KPQ when I worked there. I worked at KPQ for 11 years during both the Wallaces when they owned it, and then, of course, Cherry Creek Radio bought out KPQ AM and FM, and then they became Cherry Creek Media, and then Town Square Media bought them out. It's all very cattywampus. But for my time working with Jim, it was a wonderful time. Indeed, good staff, a lot of great memories, solid professionals there. So best wishes to Jim's family. And I lost personally Dan Solom. My good friend Dan lost his battle with cancer on New Year's Eve, and it's been a rough go. So to Denise and Kaylee and Brady, best wishes. Oofda to you, Dan, who you will be greatly missed. Okay, the weather. Changes are coming later on. First of all, it's going to be foggy. We're going to be dealing with fog each morning in the early morning hours for a few hours each day. That's not going to change until we get to the end of the week. So some of the places that are prone to heavy, thick, dense fog, get ready for that. And also there are going to be a few changes coming. Finally, we're going to break out of this little rut. As far as there's still some uncertainty. What they do know pretty much is that the mountain passes are going to get quite a bit of snow as we head into the weekend. Probably not here in the Wenatchee Valley. The forecast looks something like this. Clouds all day today, maybe a sprinkle or two. Snow level at 1,800 feet. We'll top off at 37. 36 for the overnight low tonight. That's what happens in warmer than normal temperatures with a little bit of rain right through the week. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Sets this blistering business apart from the rest if we don't burn the house down first. We get crackin' as one town celebrates its heritage by making a 5,000 egg omelet.
Then we go undercover to find out the salty secrets of this small town success story.
How about that one right there?